How you doing?
Good. How's everybody?
Good.
All right.
Cool. Start the playoff here?
No, just maybe more lazy than anything. Really, no. I don't know how long it's going to last until my wife tells me enough's enough.
All phobies.
Yeah. I know you didn't come here and ask me about my kid.
Just warming up.
Appreciate it.
How does Corey Davis continue to look to you, Coach?
Good. Good. Did some really good things today, in especially our last period where we have a competitive third down period. Did some good things. So pleased with him.
Is he full or?
I'd say he was full today. Yeah.
Was Delaney able to do anything today?
No, he was not. He was held out.
What will Corey bring to the offense that has been missing in the games he's been out?
Well, I just think another dimension. Big-bodied, guy that's makes. He's already shown that he can make. The contested throw, the high catch, the tough throws that we really haven't had it around here for a long time. He's got strong hands. What he can do down the field. We'll see. This is going to be a good test for him. We're going to get a lot of one-on-one this week. They have their hands all over you. He's got to have to beat some one-on-one coverage, and it'll be good to see how he executes against these guys.
What does he potentially do for the rest of the offense too? How can he potentially open up some other things?
Well, I think he's got a presence about him. He's only got one game in the NFL. I don't know if they're going to, put a whole game plan together to stop Corey Davis this week, but hopefully that evolves to that at some point. He's got the ability, which we've all seen on tape, but I think we need more than one game to, I think, put the fear into some teams, and I think that'll happen eventually.
How much difference the coverage been of Delaney this year than last year?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. I mean, you see things against us that you don't see on prior tape that we design, and he's taken out of the play. We've had to go to somebody else because of it, and we've missed some throws where they've broken the coverage, worried about being Delaney. We hit a touchdown to Taiwan on a broken coverage, trying to take away Delaney, and then we missed another one. A couple weeks back to Richard when three guys jumped on Delaney. I mean, he is definitely a big attraction.
How much can some of Marcus having some of his mobility back kind of help him to play more instinctively?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be good for him. That's one thing you can take off of his mind of off his plate. I think it'll help his time clock, body clock of having to get rid of the ball quicker than he thinks. What of a threat he can be if he's got any space to run, if he can.
Does Corey go back to starting if he's playing Sunday?
If he is, yes.
You continue to be encouraged by what you see from Marcus?
Yeah, I do. There's been no restrictions on him at all. We're practicing like we're going to play in a game. I mean, that's what we want. Play breaks down. We want him to do what he would do in a game.
Seems like it was relatively quick. I mean, against the Browns, there were still signs that the hamstring was bothering him, and less than 2 weeks later, you feel like he's going to be 100%?
I think those 2 weeks were good for a lot of people, including Marcus. But I think that was good to get some people healed.
Mike, you guys get another top 10 defense again. I think at the end of the year you'll end up facing 10 of them. Have you ever been a part of something where you just keep getting the gauntlet of defense week after week?
It's kind of the trend. I mean, teams are just, everybody wants to build up that defense. We're facing some good ones we have early on. It's a good test for us. This is no different. It's very, very stout. This is a defense that's been tops in the league for a long time. Going way back to when they were in this division and they're in the AFC North when we were with them. So, hey, it is what it is. We got to do what we have to do, and we'll be ready for them.
Sounds like Flacco's going to be a go for them. What kind of challenges does he present in their offense?
Well, he's won a Super Bowl. He's pretty much seen it all. This is not a new defense to him. It's very similar to the Steeler type of defense, so it's not like he's going to be surprised with a lot of the things that we do defensively. To me, I think he's gotten better as the season's gone on, as he's felt more comfortable with, getting over the injury. I thought he was playing probably his best game before he got injured against Miami. So he's playing better.
Even after all these years in the league, how much does a guy like Suggs still impact the game?
He can change the game. I mean, he can definitely change a game. He can get sack, fumble, touchdown, any play. I mean, he's that disruptive. He's playing at a high level, and it's not just in rushing the passer. I mean, in the run game, he's setting an edge. It's hard to get outside of him, and that's a big factor. Why their run defense is good.
Dick LaBelle has plenty of experience, obviously scheming against Flacco and the Ravens. How much does that play to your favor?
I'm sure that helps. Yeah, we can go back and look at. I do that all the time to see previous coordinators, previous teams, previous whatever. You can gain an advantage by looking back on what's been successful. I'm sure that's no different this week with Coach LeBeau.
How much of what you uncovered with your study last week involved tendencies?
Not much. Like I looked at offensively, you look at us. I would say it'd be very difficult to. We had on first and second down the first 7 games we had 99 runs, we had 99 passes. I mean, I'd say it's pretty tough to figure out what we're doing on first down. Second down and 1 to 6, very close to. It was 55, 40. I mean, there was nothing that stood out tendency-wise to me. Was a factor in when we did our study.
When you looked at the defense last week, could you see how big was the difference after the Houston game over the last 3 weeks in the improvement?
Well, we're making less mistakes. We're getting more turnovers. We're just doing a lot of things right, and we're really getting to where we're supposed to be. Gap control is good. Our coverage has been good. We're not out of place in a lot. We're just playing the defense and playing the calls, and I think those guys took it personal what took place in that game and have responded the last 3 games, and they need to continue to do that.
Do you see the secondary growing over the last few weeks?
Yeah, we've done some good things, and not just coverage, but our run support against some of these teams that like to run the football have been good with our secondary, but not a lot of guys out of place where there's been free runners like we've had in previous games.
How's Jonathan, and how does he kind of fit back into that?
He did more today than I was expecting. Again, I'm not going to tell you he's going to start on Sunday. It's Wednesday. I'll let you know if he does more tomorrow, but he did more today than he did on Monday.
What's your biggest concern for your team coming off a bye week?
If there was one, it would have been earlier. It might have been Monday, but Monday they came in and it was full speed ahead. It was really impressive the way they came in here. And today was one of our better, one of our more physical Wednesday practices. So I don't have any right now.
Are you at the point with Marcus where you can use the whole playbook again?
Maybe.
There's a number I think that you guys have tied for the lead in fewest big plays against, like explosive plays against. Big change from last year. Has that been a priority for you guys, and why do you think that is?
I wouldn't say it's been a priority. It's been, it isn't. It's not talked about like turnovers. I think what's been emphasized is doing your job, and I think that has helped limit a lot of the more explosive plays.
Going back to the Flacco injury quickly, how much of a teaching moment can that be for Marcus in terms of Flacco was a little late getting down into his slide, and that's how they justified the Kiko Alonso bit?
Yeah, I think it's just another tool. I mean, there's going to be a number of them when the season's over with for all quarterbacks. I'm sure the NFL is going to look at it as well with some of the injuries they've had to quarterbacks. But hopefully it's a lesson learned without me having to say anything. Just go ahead and get down. It's not worth the hit. I mean, even on the sideline, I just got to avoid a hit over there too. Get out of bounds. It's not worth the circumstances that could happen if you do get whacked on the sideline, which we could have in Cleveland on a play.
How's DeMar going?
He was full today.
Any other?
Spain.
Spain did not. Spain and Delaney did not practice today. Everybody else was full.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
We'll bring in Marcus.
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. I know Mike just kind of talk about seeing your progress. Do you feel much better after the bye week?
Yeah, I feel good. It was nice to get some time off. Body's feeling good, and it's nice to get back to football.
What do you see when you look at the Ravens?
I think they're a great defense. They got guys kind of everywhere. Their back end, I think, is playing really well. I think they lead the league in turnovers and all sorts of stats. So we got our work cut out for us. It's going to be a good challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
With his skill set, what does Corey do when he comes back into the offense? How can he help the rest of the defense?
Well, first of all, he's explosive. And when you get the ball in that guy's hands, he's very dynamic, can do a lot of different things. So when you add a guy like that, it just adds another dimension to your team.
Does it potentially, it seems like it's been tough to get the ball to Delaney on her back and potentially help out Delaney as well?
We'll see.
How much does having some of your mobility back help you just to play more instinctively now and just kind of do what you do whenever a play breaks down or the rush is coming?
Yeah, just play myself, I guess. I don't think about my hamstring. I can't when you're out there. With that being said, I just go out there and if there's an opportunity to run, I'll do it. If got to get outside the pocket and make a throw, I'll do it. When it's all said and done, I'll just do whatever's best for the team.
Did the hamstring force you to stay here for the bye, or were you able to get away?
I got away for a little bit.
How much was treatment a part of getting away?
A good amount of it. I was able to go out west, see my brother. I was fortunate enough to use the facilities out there, and with all that, I was able to get a lot of work done on my hamstring and do what was necessary to be ready to go.
Is there still any nostalgia when you go back to Oregon about just everything that you accomplished there?
Yeah, it's still pretty surreal. It's nice to go back and to see some old faces. It was nice to just spend time with my family and my brother. It was his birthday last week, so just being able to spend time with him and just hang out and be kind of normal for a few days was nice.
What do some of your friends, former teammates, have to say about the Marcus Mariota Sports Performance Facility?
Yeah, they say it's pretty crazy. It's walking through there. It's pretty special. Everything that the university has done for me and my family. It's pretty special to walk through there and remember some of the games and see some of the stuff. And when it's all said and done, it's nice to kind of go back there and pay a little tribute. And again, it's a special place, and really thankful for the university and what they've done.
Marcus, I've heard of taking a football team to a game, but did you take 1,000 kids to a game?
Yeah, as part of my foundation, we took about 1,000 kids to Aloha Stadium to watch the University of Hawaii play San Diego State. It was a cool event. Coach Stutzman as well as Coach Rolovich, who are on staff at the University of Hawaii, spent some time with the kids. They're able to get a meal, hang out, watch the game. So we were just trying to bring a little bit of joy and allow them to experience something that maybe they wouldn't be able to do. And I thought it was a really cool event, and the volunteers and everybody part of the foundation did a great job and made a special day for some kids.
Games. Go ahead, Joe.
Did you ever get to be a part of something like that when you were growing up?
No, not really. So it was nice to be able to provide that and give kids an opportunity to see a college game at Aloha Stadium. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to do that. And again, I thought it was a special day for those guys.
What type of feel do you get when you go back to Hawaii and everybody looks at you and what you've done to this point?
Surreal. I just try to do my best to represent where I come from. It's a special place, holds a special place in my heart. And every single day, every single decision I make, I try to keep them, the culture of Hawaii, where I'm from, in mind. So whenever I get a chance to go back home, it is nice. It's nice to just spend time with family and friends. But every single day, I kind of take it as a responsibility, and I try to do my best to represent them.
Coach Malarkey was saying that with you back to 100% or really close to 100%, the timing on plays should be better. Do you feel like prior to this, during the hamstring recovery, maybe things were a little bit off in terms of timing on play?
It's hard to say. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we weren't able to execute on was just us not trusting the process, not trusting each other. So When it comes down to it, I think, as we get through this, we'll be fine. We'll continue to get better and we'll improve.
Pretty smooth from you and Corey standpoint as far as being on the same page after him being out for a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. He's doing a good job of being where he's supposed to be, lining up where he's supposed to. And when you have a guy like that's so explosive, you just got to find ways to get in the ball.
What went through your mind as you stepped away during the bye week? You guys played 7 games, got 9 to go. From a team standpoint, did you have time to reflect and maybe reflect on what's happened so far, maybe what's ahead in November, December, and hopefully beyond?
Yeah, definitely. And just taking a step back and looking at what we've done, we haven't accomplished anything. We're 4-3. We are in the thick of it in our division, but that's not where we want to be. We want to finish on top. We want to be in the playoffs. We want to do all those types of things. And in order to do that, we'll have to be better on third down as an offense. We'll have to be better in the red zone as an offense. And, I think guys understand that. And looking back on it, guys did have some time to reflect. And I think going forward, we should be better.
What do you mean by when you say not trusting the process? What does that entail? How do you get over that?
Well, I think it just comes down to when you're out there getting reps in practice, making sure everyone's in the same place, not allowing a rep to go on and guys are in the wrong place or doing the wrong things. And, if you're able to do that in practice and everyone is comfortable and communicates and everyone's on the same page, it'll carry over into the game.
Do you feel like, I know they say turnovers come in bunches, things happen in bunches. You feel like once you start having a little bit of success, tasting a little bit of success in the red zone, it's going to kind of build momentum where you can kind of do what this team can do what it did last year close to the end zone?
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of those things stem from third down. We weren't very good on third down in the red zone, and that's got to change. And if we focus on third down, we get some of these conversions, we'll continue to roll and allow us more opportunities in the red zone to hopefully score touchdowns.
When you see that hit that Flacco took on Thursday night, does that inform your game at all? Do you use that as any kind of a teaching lesson, or is that just an unfortunate thing that happened?
Yeah, it was tough to see, but again, it's part of the game, and it's just got to understand where you're at and find ways to get there.
When your scripted plays work, when those 12 or 15 are productive, how much can that kind of buoy the offense? Like, hey, we came in here and the stuff that we designed to go with first worked. It's going to be good from here.
Well, I think it builds rhythm, allows you to see what the defense is doing, gives you an idea of what is working, and when it comes down to it, if we're executing and making the most of those drives, we're scoring points, everyone's going to feel good.
What's it do to you when it doesn't work and you say, hey, that was our best stuff and we came in and didn't get much out of it?
Nothing, because like you've seen in previous games, we've come out in the second half and played well. And, that's what's fun about this team. That's what's great about this team is, whatever happens. We move on, we get better from it and find ways to try to execute and score points.
That added dimension of Corey being able to go up and get the ball deep down the field, what does that dimension add to this Titans offense?
It allows explosiveness. It allows us to make some big plays down the field. Corey can do those types of things. Decker can do those types of things. Rashard can do those types of things. Delaney can. So it's about giving them the opportunity, giving them a chance to do that, and I'll do that for sure.
How much difference the coverage that you've seen Delaney draw, and does it lend itself to be frustrating at times when he's got 2 or 3 people on?
Yeah, and Delaney, the type of player he is going to create that type of coverage, is going to get extra guys going at him, and we have to find ways to make it easier on him, make it easier on ourselves. And spread the ball around and find ways to combat that a little bit.
Tucker was only targeted twice against Cleveland. Is that a product of him not getting separation, or is that going back to, like you said, trusting the process and practicing better? Or,
I think it's just different week to week. Some guys are going to get more targets, some guys aren't. And that's just depending on how we game plan it. Just happened to be that week for him.
When he got here, we talked a lot about the potential for him to add to a good red zone offense. Obviously, guys haven't been that good down there. It doesn't seem like he's gotten many chances. You think he's part of the solution?
For sure. Absolutely. I think over his career, he's found ways to find the end zone. And, Obviously, we all got to be better in the red zone, and I think if we give him more opportunities, he'll make the most of it.
In talking about Corey Davis and what he brings as far as being able to go up and get a ball and also the red zone productivity, how much of throwing that 50-50 ball is your guy just having the confidence and the ability to go up and make the play for you?
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of the game. When you have a guy that can do that, sometimes it eliminates half the field. You just got to see how he comes off and releases, and if you like the matchup, you can take it. So it's something that you got to develop, something that is done out here in practice, and I think as we go forward, it'll be something that will be part of our game.
The celebrations in the NFL, have you ever thought about you or the team doing any type of celebrations?
Not me personally, but if the guys get going with something, I'd love to be a part of it.
What's the most exotic celebration
Ever done? Junior high, high school.
It's been pretty similar all throughout.
What's the favorite one you've seen?
Oh, man. There's been a lot of good ones. I thought hide and seek was pretty cool by Pittsburgh. The jump rope, double dutch, and I think Detroit might have done it in the preseason. I thought that was pretty cool. But guys are creative. I think that's really cool that what the NFL has done is allow guys to do that. And it's kind of fun to watch those week in and week out.
Not your thing, though.
No, man. Not my deal. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
No, I think you're asking.
Oh, man.